What's up, Ada Nation? Welcome to Dapp Central, your home for everything blockchain and crypto. I'm your host here, Fareed. As a part of today's video, we're diving into all of the latest updates going on in Cardano. First and foremost, we've got a brand new build released by the Cornucopias game, and I want to highlight exactly what has changed and where the team stands with their current file node sale. Second, we've got C3 or Charlie 3, the Oracle platform on Cardano, which has now released their dev portal, which basically breaks down all of the available feeds and all the information surrounding aggregations and the actual nodes which have collected the data. In addition, they've also partnered up with Verility in order to provide them their custom feeds for any of the assets or any of the payments that they'll be accepting on their platform. Now, third, we're going to jump into Zengate Global, which has just brought on an experienced advisor in Lamont Rattan. And I want to go ahead and break down his background as well as his contributions to Zengate and bringing them more visibility and adoption in the near future. Now, following that, I want to talk about Tap Tools. As tax season is right around the corner, at least here in the United States, they're going to be teasing out a brand new feature to simplify taxes for anybody utilizing Cardano. Last but definitely not least, I want to talk about Cerberus and some new integrations that they have with partners or with projects building on Cardano, as well as an upcoming space to highlight all the biggest projects and their project catalyst proposals. As always, if it's your first time stopping by Dapp Central, my goal is to provide you in the growing Cardano community with all the latest updates going on here in this wonderful and thriving ecosystem. If you'd like to support the channel, first way you can do that is just by smashing that thumbs up. It really does make a difference. But if you want to take it a step further, feel free to delegate to the Dapp Central stake pool, which is stake pool ticker DAPP. And as always, I appreciate you guys taking the time to do either of those two things. Jumping into the first update for today's video, we're going to be breaking down the Cornucopias game and their latest build, which has now gone out to their OG testers dubbed Apex. With this particular build, we now have the availability to race their Valkyrie F9-R. This, I believe, is one of the first S-Class vehicles to finally be available to the Cardano community. If you guys want to find out more about this particular vehicle, if you guys just want to see it in action, and if you don't already have the build available for you, definitely go ahead and check out Copybor. I'll leave the link to his channel down below. He does a lot of in-depth Cornucopias videos. And I also want to highlight the fact that the Cornucopias team with Scruffy and Rob Gregg officially had their first live stream on their channel as well, breaking down this entire build. I believe that that's going to be a brand new trend moving forward. So if you guys aren't already subscribed to the Cornucopias game channel or the official YouTube channel, make sure to go ahead and do that as well. Next, they've added a competitive body cam to reduce the visual effects for an unobstructed cockpit view, and you're able to utilize that by toggling V on your keyboard. Next, you're also able to enjoy tracks from Seven, our very own Cornucopias content creator. If you guys aren't familiar with Seven, he's been with this team for probably the entire time that they've been here on the Cardano or within the Cardano community. Very early supporter. He's a moderator, but he's also got a very special gift, which is his talent in being able to rap and actually sing. So the Cornucopias game has finally onboarded him onto the team, and they're going to be working very closely with him to actually include some of his Cornucopias themed songs in the actual Cornucopias game. Next, we've got Rumble Ball being added to Kalido Valley Resort near the Club Rise, as well as the Bubble Jet Bonanza now available on Demo Drive. Everything else here is a little bit minor. We do have some upgrades to the Holo Cache locations, which are very similar to something like an Easter egg hunt. And then we've got some possible bugs and issues also being fixed there as well. Now, the team does typically have what they call their Copy Cafe, where we hear from Rob Gregg and Josh Jones. In the latest episode, they did mention that they are gearing up and that they are in the final stages to actually launch their file node sale on Ethereum. I believe as it stands right now, we've gone through 4 separate tiers on Cardano, and we have yet to actually see an NFT sell on the ETH side of the equation. There's a total of 10,000. And again, the team has already started the sale on Cardano, but they're now going to be pivoting and focusing and integrating their support for ETH, I believe, natively, or to purchase, I should say, assets on their custom NFT marketplace. So stay tuned for that. I want to kind of just quickly kick things off here with a brief update surrounding Cornucopias and their Apex build release. Next, I want to jump into C3 or Charlie 3. They're an Oracle platform already live on Cardano, providing multiple data feeds for more than 5 or 6 different integrations or project partners. As a part of this update, I want to highlight the fact that they now have released their developer portal available at portal.charlie3.io. And as always, I'll go ahead and leave the link to that down below. So with respect to this, you'll be able to see all of the following. Number one, all C3 data feeds on the mainnet and the testnet, which is for pre-production or pre-prod. You also have all the details for each particular feed, as well as a historical and fully auditable trail of each of the data feeds via the Cardano ledger or through a Cardano Explorer, for example, like CExplore or Cardano Scan. You also have the ability to search for specific feeds, as well as a way to set up consultations and contacts. Now, the team will be expanding this year, providing a customer-facing portal, as well as a developer-based portal to quickly integrate into the C3 ecosystem. Now, scrolling down, we've got a couple of screenshots. I will be jumping into the actual platform in just a minute, but moving along, they talk about their deviation change. So when you're actually utilizing something like C3, again, keep in mind they're grabbing data off chain or just real life decisions taking place off chain and bringing those on chain. With something, for example, like the price of Cardano, that can fluctuate as the market has its ups and downs. So one of the ways that they monitor when to actually take a price update or when to trigger a brand new price feed refresh is when there's a certain deviation change. With respect to the Cardano price feed, I believe that is currently set at 1%, but the team basically sets all of their feeds with a range of 0.5% all the way to 2%. Anytime that the value of a particular feed would change between that particular deviation amount, that will trigger a brand new price update. Similarly, around the clock, they have what they call just their traditionally scheduled updates or their heartbeat. So whenever there's a deviation following that, if there are no deviations between that and the next heartbeat schedule, right, then things will move along. If there's no need for any deviations at all, then just around the clock, you'll see the price feed being updated based off of the scheduled update time frequency. Scrolling down, we talk about, or they do talk about some of the advantages here, which include the fact that you can now also see all node rewards and all records of every node's operations directly in each aggregation. So there's no longer any question about who actually validated and brought on a specific data point at a specific data time, or at a specific time, I should say, within a particular feed. Very similarly, all this information will be completely auditable via the Cardano ledger or via something like Cardano Scan or CExplore. Now, customizations when it comes to actual projects, keep in mind that this is a service, right? So you have to pay C3. There's obviously a price to bring that data on chain, but you have the ability to customize how frequently and how many nodes you actually want to verify your data. So it states here that the parameters are customizable per customer to vary their or to be within their operational price, as each update costs around 3.95 ADA, which right now is about $2 per update. Now, in order to either raise the price or lower the price, customers can change the deviation trigger percentage. They can also change the scheduled update or the heartbeat, but there is a 24-hour minimum. So you at least have to get one price check per day. Lastly, you have the amount of nodes that are used to verify or to bring on the data, and there's a minimum of at least 3. The team also lists their recommendations down there, which are 5 nodes with a 2% deviation with a 6-hour heartbeat. Now, I want to quickly go ahead and plug in a recent interview that I did shoot with Damon at the Rare Bloom or the Rare Evo conference back in Denver, Colorado, where I sat down with them to talk about everything that C3 or the Charlie 3 platform has to offer. In addition to that, they are also integrating or partnering with Mehen or USDM in order to provide the reserve amount, right, from the actual physical bank where the fiat reserves will be held to the team or to their smart contract, I should say, which is going to be managed here on the Cardano network. So there's quite a bit here going on with C3 or Charlie 3. And I actually want to talk a little bit more about a new integration that has just been struck by the team as well. Scrolling down towards the bottom, the team does highlight the fact that their Oracle can be used for crypto, stocks, commodities, weather, sports, shipping logs, manufacturing logs, election results, etc. And then moving forward, they'll be integrating their customer portal. They're also going to be integrating a dev language plugin and an additional feed, or additional list, I should say, of all their data sources for all feeds. So now that we better understand the actual platform, I've actually gone ahead and signed up for it. If I jump in here very quickly, we can see that they've got a total of 8 active feeds on the mainnet. I can quickly jump to view the feeds on the pre-prod testnet, which again here includes USDM, Shen, ADA, and C3. If I want to filter for a particular feed, I can. Let me actually toggle back over to mainnet. And from here, I can see the deviation percentage, the heartbeat frequency, and the last number of times it was updated in the last 24 hours or in the last day. So let me actually go ahead and select ADA/USD here, and I'm going to view all the details. And as you guys can see here, I've got the price chart and a nice simple graph here, which I think is very helpful to see. I've got that information here on the right-hand side, the total number of nodes being used to actually verify that data, the deviation percentage, which again, if the price deviates more than that 1%, that will automatically trigger an update. From there, the update frequency will update to provide another refresh in 6 hours, unless there's another deviation update that takes place between that time. Right below that, we've got the last updated time, and then we've got all the different updates that have taken place beforehand. What I like about this here is that this tells you whether or not it was a deviation or a scheduled update, as well as the value, the last updated time, the total number of C3 tokens rewarded to the validators, and then you can actually see the nodes that were able to bring or to validate that data. So relatively impressive here to see this coming out from the C3 team. I think this is a really great way to finally visualize, what this platform is actually doing and all the data and all the value it's providing to the Cardano ecosystem. Moving over, we've got an additional update here coming in from C3. This is with respect to them partnering up with Veralidity. If you guys aren't familiar with Veralidity, they're a platform that basically acts as a middleman, or they act as a payment gateway, I should say, between merchants and payment providers. So we just saw Veralidity actually partnering up with USDM, where they're now going to be providing a way or a payment gateway that adopts crypto, specifically the fiat-backed stablecoin coming in from Mehen. So if I jump back over here, because they're a payment gateway, they're now also going to be integrating C3 or Charlie 3's Oracle. So it states here the C3 ADA/USD and C3/ADA Oracle feeds have been integrated by Veralidity as a part of a larger partnership plan to stretch into the future. This allows current merchants to have accurate payments in ADA and C3 if they desire. So again, if you're a Web2 e-commerce platform utilizing Magento and you want to accept crypto payments, you can plug in the Veralidity plugin directly into your Web2 store, and that will allow for you to now receive payments in Cardano native assets, including C3 as well as ADA. Now, scrolling down, this basically highlights exactly what I just mentioned, which is the fact that Veralidity will now be utilizing C3's feeds. That will do it there for that particular update. Again, congratulations to Damon and the entire team on their recent integration with Veralidity, as well as the official launch of their dev portal. As always, if you guys do enjoy updates like these, I would appreciate you if you could smash that thumbs up. If it's your first time stopping by Dapp Central and you want more content like this, breaking down all the great builders in Cardano, consider subscribing. And last but not least, if you have any questions for me, then make sure to go ahead and leave a comment down below. Next, I want to talk about a brand new advisor for the Zengate platform. So I've had Daniel Freeman and Theo, as well as Sam, to discuss all the latest updates surrounding Zengate Global. They're a platform which provides 3 separate products. As it stands right now, we have the Palmyra Commodities DEX, which is aiming to decentralize and remove all the barriers when it comes to selling and trading and just importing and exporting commodities around the world. As it stands right now, they've got 1 commodity, which I believe is tea. We're expecting additional commodities and a brand new version of the platform to come live as well, and that's going to be V2. And in terms of the new commodities, that'll be support for olive oil and cinnamon. So make sure to check out my latest interview with Daniel and Theo from Chef Pool if you guys want to find out more about that. Now, focusing back here on the actual content, we have former United Nations Chief of Commodities joining Zengate Global's advisory board. So this is fresh off of the press. We've got Lamon Ratan. So if I jump over to Yahoo Finance, which is pretty impressive to say the least, right? They have an official article posted here. Now, I want to just quickly read a couple of sentences here before we move the conversation along. So it states here, with respect to Mr. Ratan, he's held the prestigious position of CEO and Managing Director at the Multi Commodities Exchange of India, also known as MCX, which is a top global commodities exchange. He's also led the company through a successful IPO in 2012. It continues to read that his experience also includes serving as the Chief of Commodity Risk Management and Information for the UN. On top of that, he also acted as the CEO of the Indonesia Commodities and Derivatives Exchange, also called ICDX. So it looks like, without me even having to go any further, that this guy is extremely vetted. His background definitely goes ahead and shows that. And I believe he's got more than 20 years of experience dealing with global commodities and just some of these exchange markets. So a huge pickup here for the Zengate Global team. Somebody like him with all this information, all these connections, and all this authority only gives more credibility, visibility, and sound guidance to the team. Now, Mr. Ratan joins Zengate Global to enhance the development of the Palmyra platform, a pioneering commodities exchange. His role involves navigating regulatory landscapes, scaling the exchange, and structuring critical areas, all integral to Zengate's mission to revolutionize global commodities trading. Again, congrats to Theo and Daniel and Sam for this amazing acquisition. I think that moving forward, this only gives them more credibility and more help, and hopefully it allows for them to mature a lot quicker, given Lamon's connections and just overall experience. If you guys want to find out more about Zengate, there is a tokenizing commodities and RWA's Twitter space, or I should say Cardano Talk, presented by Zengate Global, again by their CEO Daniel Friedman and their lead business operations manager, Theo. That will do it there for that particular update. Moving over, I want to talk quickly about TapTools and a recent tease surrounding simplification of tax information. So we've got a post here that was posted about a week ago from TapTools highlighting a service which they haven't fully announced just yet. Now, there's two pieces to this. There's a individual proposition, and there's also a business proposition or business offer. So for individuals, they provide the ability for you to quickly track and export all the following information. Number one, information surrounding your staking rewards. Number two, individual token and NFT trades. Number three, they'll provide a capital gains report. Number four, they'll provide a report surrounding lending and borrowing activities. Number five, any airdrop information as well. So that basically covers the entire crypto space, or at least Cardano as it stands right now. Again, these range from just traditional staking, free tokens, and just any sort of trading activity that you may have done on a platform like JPEG, or even something through the likes of Dex Hunter or even MintSwap. Looking at the very bottom there, we've got a proposition for businesses as well, which talks about wallet income reports. And I would assume that some of those other aspects may also tie in to a particular business. For example, if a business receives an airdrop, that would also be classified as something that they do have to report via a tax form or via their country's tax reporting methods. So that will do it there for that particular piece. Let me know what you guys think down below. I think this is a no-brainer. Everybody has to report their taxes, or everybody should be reporting their taxes. And as a result, this appears to be simplifying that process very, very quickly. What's interesting, or at least what will be interesting to see, is whether or not this will require something like their TapTools NFT or their Tappy NFT, or if this will be a separate service, right, with a separate pricing model. Again, this is going to be something that you have to do reoccurring or every single year. So I could definitely see, them charging the community for some sort of pass to get access to it for one particular year, or providing additional utility to the TapTools NFT, which I think would be a great way to go ahead and do that by providing this particular service. Last but not least, let's talk about Cerberus. So Cerberus is a risk rating platform and a portfolio or wallet viewer tool. And I did recently have the team on the channel as well. I'll go ahead and leave the link to that down below. But what I want to highlight here is the fact that Cerberus has now been integrated into the Cherry Lend protocol. So whenever you're going to be doing any sort of lending and borrowing, it's probably wise to understand which assets you're going to be trading. And therefore, the team from Cherry Lend has now added the ability to quickly jump over and view some of the Cerberus ratings associated with tokens that they support on their platform. Very similarly, we've got Coinecta, a launchpad and IDO protocol building on Cardano, also integrating the Cerberus user interface or Cerberus charts and graphs directly into their platform. So depending on how you want to integrate Cerberus, you can either link to their official platform, or you can actually grab some of their content and plug that in directly into your existing dApp or decentralized application. So I want to quickly touch on both of those there. We also have the Cardano Shield team working very closely with Cerberus because, again, Cardano Shield's aiming to protect the Cardano community from interacting with malicious transactions or phishing or fake websites. And utilizing something like Cerberus allows for them to quickly verify the trustworthiness and credibility of a particular Cardano native asset. Last but not least, there is an upcoming space where I'm actually going to be hosting. So if you guys want to tune in here, this is taking place on Tuesday, February 6th at 8 p.m. UTC. We've got tons of different projects joining the conversation to talk about their Project Catalyst proposals. And so that ranges from Vesper, Fluid Tokens, Iagon, Dex Hunter, Anastasia Labs, ZK Fold, Newcast, Matera, Lenfi, Noom, etc. So that will do it here for today's Cardano Scoop, breaking down all the updates going on here in the Cardano ecosystem. We kick things off there with the update for the release of the Apex build from Cornucopias, followed by C3 and their developer portal in partnership with Veralidity, followed by Zengate and their new advisor, and then the brand new tease of the tax tool from Tap Tools, and last but not least, integrations from Cerberus and their upcoming Catalyst proposal space. That said, if you guys found any portion of today's video to be helpful, I would really appreciate you if you could smash that thumbs up. If it's your first time stopping by Dapp Central and you want more content like this, consider subscribing. And last but not least, if you have any questions for me, then make sure to go ahead and leave a comment down below. That said, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.